Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen. So officially, the Barber Shop 918 has to go on record to say that we might have to retire this saying "dance monkey dance,"
Why
considering
is that?
because
Why is that?
H&M messed it up for us with the coolest monkey in the jungle sweatshirt that they put on the little black boy.
We should have
Wow.
sued them. That's what we should do. They took our idea. That's our idea. We talked about the monkey.
We're
Let's just sue them.
the coolest podcast in the jungle, huh?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. They can have that.
Dance, monkey
They
dance.
can have that.
Nah, you know what's crazy? I read, and it wasn't on a credible website, but I read a little article where it showed the mom had tweeted that black people were overreacting to her son's shirt. And I don't know, like I said, I can't give it much credibility, but I mean, it was just a copy. It was a screenshot of the tweet, so I'm pretty sure people just didn't make that up. That's crazy. That is crazy. But are we being too sensitive? Is Black Twitter being too sensitive?
First of all, you put monkey in with black people. We know what that means.
You know how we gonna react.
We know how you gonna react. That has been a racist caricature for years. We know what it means. We know that's subtle. It's got the little subtle racism we throw out there. Monkeys, black people, watermelon. Come on.
All right. I feel like I should start the show now. I kind of do. And why not? And welcome into the Barbershop 918. You up in here with your man, Big Drew.
Big Drew.
J-Rock.
Boom.
And the one and only Raw Dawg. We got a jam-packed show for you today.
Pack with jam, baby.
And a whole lot of jelly in this particular episode, man. We got something special coming your way. We got a couple of guests coming up on the Barbershop 918. We're going to give you the word on the street.
Word on the street. Sweet one.
Sweet one.
Hey, bruh. You know where you live, man.
It's all right, man. It's twice as nice when he do that, man. It's okay.
Oh,
It's
man,
not.
let me have this one. Y'all have the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ratchet.
Ratchet.
Oh,
Ratchet.
okay. I thought you wanted some.
Calm down.
Oh, okay.
Bring it up.
All
I thought
right.
he wanted the sauce. I thought he wanted the sauce.
All
I
right.
don't want the sauce. That's burnt.
All right.
Come on.
All right. So we also gonna give you a little bit of NFL talk, NBA talk, and we're gonna talk. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about college football. That's gonna be our headline right now.
That's it.
Let's go ahead.
Great game, sir.
Hold on. We gotta let the cha-cha be heard clearly.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cha-Cha.
Sound effects.
Cha-cha. Cha-cha.
Okay.
Cha-cha.
That is a terrible Cha-Cha, sir.
It is. One job. One.
What's going on? Why you ain't on your game today, man? I mean, it was a hard day at work or something?
Is it because
man.
were you rooting for Georgia? Was that the issue?
Hey, I was still hurt. Well, I wasn't even hurt. I said, you was gonna lose, so I really didn't care. It was a long night watching that game. I thought Georgia could pull it out. They had the home field advantage. They were playing in their home state. They were up at halftime, but then Nick Saban, he pulled. That's why he's the GOAT. He switched quarterbacks at halftime. He picked up his freshman. I can't pronounce his name. Tua, the guy from Hawaii.
I ain't gonna say the rest of it because it's a lot.
The guy from Hawaii, he came in and he engineered the comeback for Alabama that sent the game. The game was tied up. Alabama had a chance to win it in regulation, but the kicker shanked it.
He shanked it hard.
I felt bad for him too, man. Like, I felt bad for that kid. I was like, because that's Alabama. Like, they poison trees there, dude. Like, I knew that they was gonna have it out for that kid if they would have lost that game.
He should buy Tua lunch and the wide receiver because he was gonna get beat up.
Oh, bad.
More than once.
Yeah. While people yelling, "Roll dang Tide." Like, it was gonna be bad. It was gonna be real bad. All right. So would you say this was one of the best games since the playoffs have come about?
Yeah, it's been 4 championship games in the playoffs, and the last 3 have met up. They've gotten better each time. Clemson, Alabama 1, Clemson, Alabama 2, and now Alabama, Georgia. All 3 of those have, they stepped up to the plate and they knocked it out the park with all 3 of them.
Yeah.
You think that's why? There's this bias to the SEC?
Well, I mean, the thing is, who knew? I mean, Who knew Georgia was this good? I mean, a lot of people were saying, hey, they made it because they were in the weak SEC East, but they ran the ball. They ran over OU and came back and defeated them. And then Alabama, a lot of people were saying Alabama didn't deserve to be in there. It should have been Ohio State. But Alabama, they proved everybody wrong, and they won the national championship.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Where do you think Nick Saban goes from here? Do you think he stays put, and will he continue to be successful as with Alabama? Do you see that run continuing, or do you see him hopping?
He ain't going nowhere. Okay, first of all, when he did go to the NFL, we saw how that went down.
He stank. He was stanky.
So there's no need for him to jack up his. Unlike a Kevin Durant, Nick Saban's probably concerned about his legacy. So why jack up your legacy and go do something just to do it?
Now that ain't a stretch. That ain't a stretch. You right.
Legacy is important, man.
It is.
Legacy is important. You can't do everything for the right now. You got to think about, okay, what's the bigger picture? How am I going to look 10, 15, 20 years from now? Niggas like, I'm going to keep winning these championships, man. Get to NFL.
Yes, Drew. I heard it too. That's the second time.
You said Nick was like, but it sounded like you said something else.
I said Nick, man. Nick. My nose little stuff.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man.
Raw Dawg is on one today. He's very raw today.
Nick, please. All right. Oh, my God. All right. So it's time for us to go ahead and get into not the headline, into the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's a sweet one.
Yes, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's on.
Ooh!
Dude, it sounded like you called him the N-word. Anyway.
Yeah, it did sound like you said that.
I said hater.
Oh, okay. All right.
It would be funnier if I'd have said the N-word, though.
Edit.
Yeah. All right. So the word on the street, as you guys know, is when we give you box office reports. We also give you television news and what's going on. And then we got a special segment in the word on the street coming up here in a little bit. But for right now, it's time for the music news. Give them what you got, J-Rock.
J-Rock.
All right. I got Bruno Mars. He's been on the charts for 59 weeks. He was at 31 last week. Now he's at 15, and it's on the strength of his remix to Finesse featuring Cardi B. So I should see that being in the top 10 by next week.
Seen the video?
Yeah, I seen the video, the Living Color theme.
Love it.
Yeah, I love the video. Coming in at number 10 is Khalil, American Teen.
I like him.
Number 9, Honcho Jack. Number 8, Post Malone, Stoney. Number 6 is Eminem, Revival. I'll talk about him in the next segment. Number 5, Kendrick Lamar, Damn. Number 4, G-Eazy, The Beautiful and Damned. And the number 1 album this week is The Greatest Showman soundtrack.
You changed ever since you got that job, man. You've changed.
Yeah, he has changed.
Yeah.
He's become more heathenish.
Yeah, heathenistic.
Heathenistic.
And in other music news, right now we have like some inner label beef going on. As you all know, Joe Budden, who was a rapper, he is now retired and became a podcaster. He signed a deal.
Hilarious. He is hilarious.
Yeah, I love the guy. I didn't like him as a rapper, but I love him as a podcaster because he keeps it real. But now he has a deal with Revolt with Puffy, and this week he came out and he pretty much said that him and Charlamagne the God, they have a show called Love It and Hate It, and they did a review, and they said Eminem's album Revival was trash.
Yeah.
And it was trash.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent pretty much came out and he promoted his movie that's coming out next week, and he dissed Joe Budden. If you guys know Joe Budden, he's a part of a crew that's with Eminem on his label Shady Aftermath. And, Joe Budden, he just kept it real. And I agree with him. The album is sorry, but, now it's, they're pretty much trying to pull Joe Budden back into the booth to do a diss song. But he said he's retired. Like the Migos have dissed him on a recent track. But Joe Budden has said, no, I'm out the game. So it's been getting a lot of flack because, Eminem is not happy with what's been said. But, it's the truth. I mean, it's a horrible album. He shouldn't have put it out. But that's the
it's a pop album. That's what it is.
yeah. He should have got NSYNC and all them. But also
NSYNC. What?
You know, he said it's a pop album. Justin Timberlake is coming back.
Yes.
He has a new album coming out right in time for the Super Bowl.
You heard the new song?
Yeah. Side.
It sounds just like Sexy Back. Remember Sexy Back from like 2003, where they did Future Sounds Love Sex album? It sounds just like I'm getting my sexy back. It sounds just like it, literally.
But he got Timberland and Neptunes on the album, so I can see that one selling big units.
It's sell because it's Justin, but is it good though?
We shall see.
Yeah.
And that's the music news for the week. Raw Dizzle. Is Medea still in the top 10?
No, man. Medea, man, she's out the pasture, all right? She's out the pasture. But I tell you what's coming out this Friday, January, I believe it's the 12th. Isn't that right? January 12th? Yep. Proud Mary. Now, if you haven't seen the commercials for this one. Okay, well, what's the problem? You already dissing it just in your body.
You was hating on it a week before last though. You already gave us a bad. You said it wasn't gonna do good. Yeah.
What? I said that?
Yeah, we was talking about the star of the movie, and you was like, "Oh, her movie ain't gonna sell good, so she gonna be back on Empire." Like you know.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You did
Exactly.
So what
now,
do you?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm concerned about this movie, is that the best parts are in the previews.
Yeah.
That some of this garbage. You know how some of these movies are, man.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about that. I love Taraji. Got a little bit of crush on her, man. I love Taraji. She's great. But this seems like I've seen this movie before. You know what I mean? The tough assassin who wants to get out the game, and then the kid changes her viewpoint, and this is her last one. I've seen this before, and I just don't know how original it is. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I'm all about supporting our folks, man. So, hey, go check out Proud Mary. It's got Taraji P. Henson. It's got Danny Glover and Margaret Avery, who played Suge in Color Purple.
All right.
Yeah. And tell me, let us know if it's any good. You know what I mean? Because, if it's good, I'll go check it out. But I don't know. I just feel like the best parts are on the previews, man. But that's what's coming out this weekend. And another one called The Commuter with Liam Neeson. Now, I'm getting sick of Liam Neeson and these types of movies, okay?
It's Taken 5.
Now he's in a train. His last movie was a plane. He's always a person that's got to save everybody and something moving. Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad I ain't the only one to notice that. But that's coming out this weekend, too. So, whatever. But let's go back. Let's talk about this past weekend. What happened this past weekend? Number 5, Pitch Perfect 3. Made 10.
Man, still getting paper.
Number 4, The Greatest Showman, 13 mil. Number 3, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, fell to number 3, still made 23 mil. The movie I talked about last week, Insidious, The Last Key, opened at number 2 with 29 mil. And Jumanji took over the number 1 spot with 37 mil. Now keep in mind, Jumanji's been out for a couple of weeks and retook the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are your box office numbers from last weekend, man.
All right. So television, man, you guys have been watching some good stuff. You were telling me about The Chi. Let's get a rundown on The Chi. This is
first of all, the reason why I love this because it's going to take the taste of Chirac out of my mouth from Spike Lee. I just think it's ironic that we're talking about Spike Lee now, considering what we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But Spike Lee made a horror of a movie called Chirac about my town, Chicago. It was terrible. It stunk. I tried to watch it. I couldn't. This one right here was produced. Well, Common is one of the producers. Common is from Chicago. They got this. They did it in the city. I even noticed some of the some of the streets that I remember when I was growing up there. And the storyline has basically these 4 lives intertwined. It's good storytelling, and it was just really, really good. It kept you involved, man. So, what you think, Jay? Because you watched it, didn't you?
Yeah, I like the cast. It's not too many like big name stars like my guy Jason Mitchell, who played Easy E Straight Outta Compton.
Right.
He's one of the lead characters on the show. And then we have Sonya So, who played on The Wire. She plays his mom in the show. So it doesn't have like too many big name stars.
She cussed everybody out, don't she?
Yeah, man. It was like I watched the Showtime. I had it up for about a month before it premiered on Sunday. So I watched it last Wednesday, and I was just like, man, I kind of wish this was on Netflix so I can keep watching it. But it's a show that comes on Sundays on Showtime at 8:00. Yep. And I feel like it's going to be a great show that's going to get picked up.
Definitely. It looks really good. And it's the one thing I love about it is it's well written. Very well written and very true to life. So
that's what we need.
If you haven't seen it, check it out.
We need a well-written show.
Also, Grownish, the spinoff of Blackish, that premiered last Wednesday. That is a well-written show. I watched the first 2 episodes last week with my wife, and I love the show. It's pretty much just Zoe in college, and the cast of characters. I mean, they threw Charlie in there for comedic purposes, but the cast of characters is like everybody from like it fits in, and it's like a different world. It's just in 2017. They have different backgrounds of characters and everything. And so I was telling my wife, I was like, I hope that people show up and watch the show. Each episode that premiered last week, it was just under 1 million viewers on each show. And this is on Freeform, which is a channel on basic cable.
Yeah.
It's not on ABC, it's on Freeform. And they had just under 1 million viewers for both shows. So I look for this show to have a nice run.
All right. So I'm looking forward to that. I saw a story about her that I thought that was really, or not a story. I saw her interview with Trevor Noah, and I did not know that her father's from Iran, apparently. And I think one of her parents is from Iran. Her other parent is black. So, not really knowing her ethnicity and now knowing it kind of gave me, because when they said she was going to have her own show, for me, I was thinking to myself, she's my least favorite character. Why would she have a show? Like, why would they give her a show? All right.
She's also Nas's cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting.
Let's put another Denise Huxtable on us, man.
Pretty much. All right, so we're going to introduce a new segment to the Barber Shop 918. Lower your camera down just a little bit so we can see your full face. There we go. Boom, right there. All right, so this segment is, we just want you to argue with Raw Dawg. That's it. We brought you.
I'm ready.
I like that.
Time to argue with Raw Dawg. So introducing to the Barbershop 918 audience is Chef Charone. She has watched just about and listened to every episode of the Barbershop 918 and always gives us a comment or gives us some feedback. And so she's going to give us feedback on 2 things. She's like the binge watching queen to some degree. And so she's going to give us a suggestion on something to binge. But before she gets into her suggestion on something to binge, she has a bone to pick with Raw Dawg about She's Got to Have It, the Spike Lee Netflix joint. So give them what you got. Lower your camera a little bit so we can see.
Okay. Are we still lowering cameras? Okay.
Yeah, we're still doing it. There we go. All right. All right.
Okay. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
If y'all seen how this was rigged up, you wouldn't have me moving it too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Raw Dawg.
Okay. I'm here.
How you doing? First of all,
good. I'm good.
Good to meet you guys. I'm excited because, I'm probably your number one fan, whether you know it or not. Like you said, I've listened to every episode. So my thing was when you did your review on She's Gotta Have It, you said you fell asleep on it. Even your wife fell asleep, and you just didn't give it any justice, And then I started thinking, well, Raw Dawg is a married man. You've been married like 1 million years. You're not a woman. You probably don't even understand the concept, of what this whole show was bringing. So let me give you guys some background, and maybe I can bring a better light to the show because I want people to, have a positive view on it. So let's go back to the movie. Spike Lee made this movie back in 1986. 30 years ago, which at a time with this type of content would have had to be very controversial. But it made $7.1 million in the box office. and it launched his career. So it was definitely a great movie. Okay, so excuse me. Fast forward. I'm going to talk about what the movie or what the whole script is about. Nola Darling. She's a young woman, probably in her 20s or whatever. She's an artist. She's a free spirited person, and she's free with her sexuality. She has three men that she entertains. They're all different. There's Jamie, who's like the good, wholesome business type, husband type man, although he is married. There is Greer, who is the model who's full of himself. And he's pretty wild and, creative himself. And then there's the loudmouth Mars, who is just kind of childish, loud, childish, but he rides for her. He's like, and she gets down with all these guys, all these different personalities, which brings about the ever growing topic of polyamory, and polyandry in particular, because we've always known men who have multiple women, but to introduce the concept that it's okay for a woman to be polyandry, to have more than one male that she entertains in that way romantically.
So let me ask you something. Is that the beef that maybe you have with maybe our review of the show? Is that it's important to? Is it important for there to be a female character like that right now?
I think that it's important for there to be a female character like that right now because they're real life people like that. I relate to her in so many ways because at my age, I'm not going to say I'm proud of my age. At 44, I am not married. And I am not married. And I mean, I was married briefly, but I date, and so I have the freedom to pick and choose how I'm going to present myself in any way or how I'm going to live my life. And what the show was bringing, or what the movie touched on, the whole point was all the men were trying to possess her. All the men were trying to label her. She bought a black dress. She wore the black dress because she liked the black dress. No other intention. Every man saw the black dress as either an invitation, that she was a freak, that she, they labeled her based on this dress, And, they didn't like the fact that she brought them all together. She was honest, she was true.
Let me interrupt you for just a second. I actually liked the original movie. She's Gotta Have It. So it wasn't the storyline or the fact that, she was free with her sexuality that I had a problem with. My main problem wasn't the story itself. I think my problem is specifically with Spike Lee. And Spike Lee has these flourishes as a director that he used to do a lot back in the day. Yeah. The moving camera where they walk in, but they not walking.
Right.
And that was cute back then. It's not cute no more. And
right. I had the same thing.
Yeah. And to me, it gets in the way of the storytelling. Spike's flourishes is what kind of threw me off. And I got bored with it. The storyline is actually pretty decent. It just kind of drug. You know what I mean?
Not to me. I think it was exciting to watch. I mean, I related to her character in a lot of things. And then, of course, Spike Lee did his thing where he's always going to implement a social issue. And gentrification was that social issue, as well as there was a displaced veteran there who was homeless. He himself was an artist. And it also addressed, like, me being an artist, me being someone like food is my medium now, but I've always been an artist. I draw, paint, and I understand what it's like to want to make a living off your gift, but it's not paying you. You know, I feel like I saw so many different issues being addressed, different lifestyles, and it was like you could find yourself in there somewhere, or someone in there somewhere. So I thought it was very interesting how they were able to take that movie and stretch it out to a whole series. It was 10 episodes. I mean, they were only 30 minutes a piece, so it was an easy watch. But you're right.
That's the problem I had with it. It was drug out. I was like, okay, the first episode was pretty much the movie. And then after that, I saw kind of where he was going with it. And it was almost like the idea was awesome. The execution was off to me. But then again, I could be biased because I am not a fan of Spike Lee. Because of what he did to Chirac.
Oh, okay. You're coming in tainted a little.
So I may be coming in a little like heated with him because he had a good idea with that and he screwed it up. And I felt he did the same thing with this one. I just was not interested. True enough, the storylines in there were great. They fit into the now, but if you don't execute it in a way that's going to keep my interest, I don't know what to say. I just wasn't interested. At some point, I was like, all right, put something else in. This is boring. So,
Yeah, I get it, and I wouldn't expect you to be interested, and maybe not even your wife because you live a completely different lifestyle from that. So maybe it wasn't something for your audience. Like it wasn't something that would catch your eye, but it totally caught my eye. I totally fell in love with it. As a woman, as a single woman, as a person who relates to a lot of her ways. So
right.
I thought it was great. And of course, I was very bored. I was like, this is redundant with the whole gliding thing, that Spike Lee signature move.
I can't stand that.
I was like, I'm like you with that one.
Yeah, I'm like, enough, Spike. Like, grow up as a movie maker, man. Stop doing the same stuff that you was doing in 87, 88, Yeah. Just tell the story. Sometimes it's best just to tell the story. Stop making everything so odd.
About,
you know what I mean?
That's making it about you and not about the story when you add in your signature.
Like, I want you to know this is a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have them do this. And I'm going to have something fantastical happen here. Just so you remember who directed this.
Well,
so let me ask you this.
Raw Dawg, so you'll know, and I will close with this on that. It is coming back for a second season.
Obviously, it hit a vibe with somebody. It just didn't hit a vibe with me. I mean, I won't be watching it.
You're not gonna give it so you're not gonna give it a second chance.
I'm waiting for Stranger Things 3.
Oh, okay. All right. What about you, J Rock? You think you're gonna give it a second chance? Watch season 2?
Yeah, I love the show.
We know why you watch it.
Hey, man, you gotta relax, Raw Dawg, man.
Grow up.
You ain't fooling nobody, man.
All right, so
I love the show and the movie.
Hey, you know what? That's not what you said when you first told us about the show, right?
Nah,
we ain't gonna talk about that. That's off camera, brother.
All right, so we got a couple of minutes, real quick. Give us a quick just suggestions. Give us two shows that you suggest that we, as the Barbershop 918, should binge watch and give you a review on.
Okay, so my favorite one is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. I myself kind of just discovered it on Netflix. They have it on Netflix. Then, after doing further research, I realized that Crackle had it, and it has gone through 9 seasons. So, but what Netflix did, because it's no longer on Crackle, what they did was grab the show, they condensed it, grabbed some episodes from the seasons, and they compacted them into what they're calling collections. So you can have collection 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's 4 collections. You can go back and watch it. What I think is awesome about it is Jerry Seinfeld, who is an amazing comedian. He's just kind of hanging out with other comedians, but he's in these dope, like, vintage cars of all kinds, So, I mean, from really expensive to, like, the Volkswagen vans or whatever, These are, like, all these vintage cars, and he picks up a comedian, and they go out for coffee, and they do other stuff, and in the midst, they're just talking. Like, so you kind of get to know your favorite comedian.
I've seen episodes of it prior, and it is actually pretty good.
He talked to Barack Obama on one of the episodes. He goes to the White House. And so that's a good one. And the one that we should talk about one day is that he went and picked up Michael Richards. He picked up Kramer. And, so what's your other show? What's the other show you suggest? You told me about The Five.
Yes, I was going to say The Five.
What's The Five and why should not deeply what's The Five, but what's The Five and why should we watch it?
The Five, I think, is a great show. You would love to binge watch because it actually is. It's almost like just a movie that has a bunch of episodes. Because when you get to the last episode, it's like it's closed out. So I'm going to see how they're going to be able to come back with a season 2. But basically, what it is 5-year-old kid comes up missing, and 20 years later, they find his DNA on a murder scene. So one of the guys, his big brother's friends, who was there when he was hit, when he came up missing, is a detective on the case. So
I remember that show. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time they're trying to find this guy because his DNA. Then his DNA turns up again, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's alive!" Because there was a mass murder, like a serial killer used to kill children. He claimed that he killed the little boy, gave details and everything, and so there now this guy's DNA shows up, and so all the episodes are spent trying to find this guy, who was supposed to be dead years ago.
All right.
So it was pretty good.
Now, there's one out there on Netflix I don't know if you watch called The Mist. You should check out.
The what?
The Mist. It's based on the Stephen King movie The Mist.
Okay.
Oh, you would love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out then.
It's basically the Mist movie stretched out and added some new things to it.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Check it out,
Okay.
and we can talk about that one. 'Cause you might not like that one, and we can argue about that one.
Well, I am the binge queen, and I'm glad you guys let me on today. So that's all I got for you guys.
All right.
Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
All right. All right, so we're going to keep going with the Barbershop 918. We got another segment coming your way, and so we'll get into that right now. All right, so it's time for us to talk about the NFL, and of course, this is not my favorite segment of today's show because let's just say I've tightened up just a little bit.
On your backstroke, sir.
Here's the thing. As I watched, and I'm not being Jay. You know how Jay was like, "Hey, I called it." No, I wanted to win. I did what fans do, and I got my hopes up. Even though, like in the middle of the season, I had a gut feeling, this is a lose in the first round team. I knew that. I knew it, but my fandom would not let me utter those words. And Jay come around tightening up. Come around the corner wearing his Titans colors.
With his adopted team.
Yeah. I thought he had on a Barbershop 918 hat or something. I thought he was using our colors. It was just, like he got some gear. Nope. Turned out it was a Titans hat. Turns out he's a fan. My own boy. He literally.
Start calling him Arrested Development.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm wearing a Yankee hat, man.
Today.
Yeah, so...
Came up here with a Titan hat on last week, man.
I mean, congratulations to the Tennessee Titans. Honestly, and this is how my petty goes. If you beat us, I hope you win the Super Bowl. Ain't gonna happen. You gonna but I hope that's what happens. I wish you the best,
Welcome to the couch. Welcome to the couch, Drew.
Yeah, I'm angrily grabbing a bag of chips and drinking my... It's mad. Just mad.
Go ahead, have a seat.
I'm going to have two seats.
I've been there since September. I've been there since Christmas Eve. Come join us on the couch.
Soon as the Bears said, and with our pick, we choose Mitchell Trubisky, he was like, gotta get in this groove. Watch me some
start.
Let me get my snacks. I'm gonna be here for a long time.
Eat me some Kashif chocolate cake.
You needed the Shy to be a good show because you was like between the Bulls, Chirac, and you just taking off
the Blackhawks in last place.
It's just bad all the way around.
Yeah.
Man. I was the Shy is making everything just feel good again, man. Make me feel good again. That's what it's all about.
I think this is a real good time as brothers that we come together and we finally officially join the NFL boycott. Should we really do it now?
Yeah, let's do it now. Let's do it. I mean,
Cam Newton's out. I guess
Tyrod Taylor's out.
Yeah.
Who's in the playoffs anyway? Who's in the playoffs? It's
all we got is
Falcons, Eagles, versus Eagles, Titans versus Patriots. Jaguars versus Steelers, Vikings versus Saints.
Okay, Saints are going to beat the Vikings. Jaguars are going to get a reality check. Patriots are going to beat the Titans. And who else? What you looking like that for, man?
Oh, the Falcons are going to beat the Eagles. I'm predicting that the Falcons and the Saints will upset the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the NFC.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one, man. And the Falcons going to Philly, right? They're going to Philly?
Yep, they're going to Philly, and Philly doesn't have Carson Wentz. They have Nick Foles.
It's going to be cold. Falcons still going to win, though.
I hope it's a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, and the Falcons win this time.
That'd be nice. I think people will be pulling for the Falcons, man.
I've never once in my life really ever honestly felt this much like, the whole, I could care less. Like, I really don't think that I could care. I don't, whatever.
Hey, but y'all had a good season though, man. Y'all had a better season than the Bears and the Cowboys. That's for doggone sure.
Yeah.
At least y'all made the playoffs.
Why even make it to the playoffs if you're gonna do that? Why?
Well, ask the Cowboys that.
I mean, can we get one?
What the Cowboys got to do with the Chiefs, man?
The Cowboys would love to trade places with y'all.
All I want is one home. Give me a home win. Give me. What's the point in winning the division if we're gonna keep losing at home? As a Chiefs fan, we deserve more respect than that. You think everybody coming out there just to eat barbecue and hang out? We want a victory in the playoffs.
You so mad, man. You so mad. Calm down, man.
I thought I was an angry fan.
Man. It's just pent up frustration. I apologize. I got James Evans' nose going, and my jeans was turning into the Polaroids. I was getting mad. I was getting my belt up.
Right?
I get the Eagles pick right here.
I started to feel like James when James whooped that little light skinned boy. Next time I see Patrick Mahomes, I'm gonna whoop him like James did that little boy.
Wow. You got really mad. I don't think I've ever seen you that mad since all the time we've been doing this show. That's the first time you really got really frustrated.
And now I'm fine. I just had to. I think, what's funny? I did not mention it to anybody. I didn't even get on Facebook that night. I didn't watch SportsCenter until like Tuesday. I wanted nothing to do with it. I just didn't want to be. And then, what really irritated me, Steph Curry went off for 45 points the same day. So I was just like, I wanted no parts of it. Thunder lost.
This is bad all the way around, isn't it?
It was just all bad, man. So are we done with the NFL?
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next.
You don't bust a blood vessel if we not.
It's right in that region, man. It's getting bad.
Hey, man, me and Jay get it, don't we, Jay?
Yeah, that's why I'm just chilling, man. We've been here before. We was together last year. Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben.
Yeah, this is no good.
But you had high hopes this year, though, Jay. You was like, man, we going all the way.
Yeah, you did say that.
You said we going all the way.
What was your favorite? Real quick, you can have one of these two, Raw Dawg. It might be the final snap, but what was your favorite? What was your favorite moment of the NFL season?
I mean, honestly, man.
Zeke running on the beach in Cabo.
When Chicago won a game.
Yeah, that one time.
That one time.
Well, when the Cowboys beat the Giants, I was like, okay, they gonna make a run, and Derek Carr fumbling the ball out the end zone. I was like, okay, they got Zeke coming back, they gonna win, and then they just pooped everywhere.
My favorite moment is when the referees sent out a notice saying that Marcus Mariota was not actually a eligible receiver on that play, that he did not take it from the shotgun, and that should have not been a touchdown. And that's my favorite moment, to know that we really legit didn't lose. Let's move on. So,
you need a hug.
Let it go. Let it go.
That just don't touch me.
Where Mr. Gina at, man? Call in there.
That's all pushing people. Don't touch me. I ain't touched nobody all. I'm just still angry. All right. So we're gonna move on from the NFL conversation to our next segment. All right. So y'all been enjoying the show so far. So it's time for a top five.
Call with the top five.
So I hear. All right. So today's top five, J-Rock, you came up with it, and let's also introduce this extra beard that we have in the screen. It's not James Harden.
But it's not working right now.
It's close.
James Harden, he's hurt right now.
Yeah.
But
hey, you never see me and James Harden in the same room. I know, right? I know.
And coming off the bench.
Oh my God! Okay.
We got my guy Jesse coming in. He's gonna be joining us for a few episodes. He has a segment. You want to promote your segment, sir?
Yeah. So basically, this was brought to me by J-Rock as an idea that the fellas had discussed. Since they really know nothing about boxing or UFC, they figured they bring in an expert, which would be
nothing.
We don't know nothing.
They know a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep you guys posted on everything UFC and boxing related, and let you know what the big fights are coming up. What's the news? Yeah. And there you go.
Back up just a little bit more for me, because once again, it was just a beard. A little bit. There we tip it up. Tip it up. Up. There you go. Gotcha. Now we can see you. All right. So, Jesse, we're going to get into your segment, but we only going to get in your segment if your top 5 is colder than J-Rock's. J-Rock, you want to kick off this top 5, boss? What you got? Explain it to me.
Of course I want to kick it off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the god MC of these top 5s, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with my honorable mentions.
Well, what's the category? What's the top 5 first?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The category for this week's top 5 is top 5 songs from our high school years. Top 5 songs from our high school years.
Now, keep in mind, me and Jay, and I'm assuming Jesse, we all went to high school at the same time. J-Rock, however, Alexander O'Neal, Ray Goodman and Brown, the DeBarges, Switch, Bobby DeBarge is still alive.
You said J-Rock.
Right? See how you messed that up?
What did I say?
You called Raw Dawg J-Rock.
I tend to do that. My bad.
That's for being petty, sir.
I can always edit it out. They might not even know this happened. I can just say, yeah, I messed it up.
It just happened, man.
You get the point. You old. All right, there. I said it. Okay, Raw Dawg's old.
I'm old and dangerous. Let me get the leather jacket out. I will do it. It's right here. Man.
It can be. Oh,
right here.
Okay. All right. So it's our top 5 songs from high school. What is your top 5 songs from high school? Make sure you challenge us on this. If you've seen us on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, let us know what your top 5 is. J-Rock, give them what you got, boss.
All right, I'm going to go with my honorable mentions. Honorable mention, Tracy Lee, The Theme.
That was a jam.
Yes.
And everywhere that my crew go.
All right. Adebisi right now. I'm just letting you know.
That's why I'm rocking the hat. This is the Adebisi episode, baby.
Cool.
This was the Marvin Lewis. Ha!
All right.
You know he's a rapist, right? Right?
Oh my gosh. Coming in, another honorable mention. True. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I can't leave my boy Silk the Shocker, C Murder, and Master P off the list.
Yes.
Are you kidding, sir?
Oh my.
True.
C-Bolt. Money by the ton.
Are you still in honorable mentions? Are you?
Yeah. And my last one, Juvenile High. That's my honorable mentions. Coming in at number 5, Mystical. Here we go.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Machiavelli / Tupac. Toss it up.
How you mess up both of his names?
You see, you mess.
You're an educator, sir.
Hey, I'm not an educator anymore. I'm a manager.
Oh,
get it right, buddy.
That's right.
Ooh.
Number 3.
Educated. Okay, I get it.
Number 3, Biggie and Bone Thugs and Harmony, Notorious Thugs.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I like
Number
that.
2, Nasty Nas, If I Ruled the World.
Not Uchi Wally. Okay.
No, that was your senior year. That was your senior year, sir. And number 1, Outkast featuring Babyface, Jazzy Bell remix.
Okay.
No Jay-Z on my list.
That is amazing.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna get mine over with because I want to bury it in y'all memories. I did no show prep on this. I just came off the top of my head.
Are you gonna have to pray after this?
He gonna need something.
Listen,
I can just tell.
this list is what. This is why I'm a pastor. Like, this proves that I needed Jesus. It worked out. Everybody's happy. Okay. All right. So
all 3.
honorable mention: Still Smoking Bud, Mystical. Let's see. Shut up. I smell smoke is what. Anyway, another honorable mention.
Oh gosh.
100 Spokes, Looney Coleon. Number 5.
Whoa.
Number 5, Pope Pimpin', Do or Die.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Drew got a hot list, man.
Number 4. Number 4, Tila, Show Enough.
Oh, man.
Number 3, Straight Killer, Sibo.
Wow. Wow.
Number 2, EBK, Brother Lynch, and number 1, I Got 5 on it. That's my top 5.
So you were a thug.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge Drew. I'm just
Doing
gonna
the
say he
big.
got a hot list.
That's a
Hey,
thug
man.
soundtrack right there.
No, man, those are normal people. Those songs were normal
No,
people's
sir.
songs.
Smoking Bud?
Hey.
Oh, son.
No, everybody
Hey,
loved
man.
Mystical still. No, that was a good. He told a good story.
Hey,
Straight
he's
Killer
like
by
that now.
Sibo was a mainstream song. He had a video. Look it up on YouTube.
He was nominated for a Grammy for it, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Murder Dog Award.
He got a Murder Dog Award. I know that.
Murder Dog Awards.
a murder dog, a murder case.
Lord. Jesse, go ahead and go, man.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I got. Drew. All right. So for my honorable mentions, the first one.
Wait. He get honorable mentions and I don't.
I'm coming in with an honorable mention, sir.
That's
Just take
fair.
it. Just
Go
take
on.
it.
He's doing what he wants to do, man.
So this one going out to Raw Dawg because this song is synonymous with him. Genuine, so anxious, and he knows why.
That was a jam, boy.
That pothole was
The pothole. The pothole.
that y'all hit. All right. My next honorable mention is Donnell Jones. You know what's up. And this last one, my honorable mention going out to J-Rock. It's Lord Tariq and Peter Guns, Deja Vu, Uptown
Yes.
Baby.
Uptown baby. Uptown baby.
All right. So for my actual top 5, at number 5, I got Nelly's EI. At number 4, I got R. Kelly, The Greatest. Yeah, that.
Greatest
then,
album.
Good album. Good album.
Statutory rapist.
His birthday is coming up, but we're gonna do a top 5 R. Kelly
Oh,
songs.
that's so terrible.
The
Number
wheels
3.
on the bus go round and round.
Oh my God. Okay, so number 3
It's gonna be at
is
McDonald's. At the pop place. Pop place.
so number 3 is Outkast, Miss Jackson. J-Rock, I like this one. Number 2, Jay-Z is Big Pimpin'. And
Yep.
then number 1, the one they coined the phrase, BG's Bling Bling.
Okay. Bling, bling.
So
That's good. All right. So we'll let you do your segment after Raw Dawg gets done with his list. What you got, Raw Dawg?
all right.
Okay, I don't get honorable mentions, so whatever.
I don't know why you keep mentioning that.
Because I want the world to know the unfairness, okay? That's why. Okay.
Quit snitching. Quit snitching, man.
This is Trump's America, boy.
My God.
Shut up, man. Hold up. All right, these songs came out when I graduated from high school. The top. Number 5, The Ghetto, Too Short. Love that song. Number 4, Mama Said Knock You Out. LL Cool J.
Okay.
Number 3, Rhythm Nation, Janet Jackson. Yeah. Number 2, but wait, who's laughing? Who's laughing?
The way you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that.
Y'all had something to say about it. Number 2, Bonita Applebum, Tribe Called Quest. Classic.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Cat. Number 1, Fight the Power, Public Enemy, baby.
Okay.
All
My
right.
top 5 for my high school year, specifically my senior year, those were the top 5 songs.
What year you graduate, man? 87? 89, 87?
Did you say 90?
I said 80, 89 or 97. I mean, or 87. 87 or 89. I'm sorry.
1990, baby.
Oh, 1990.
1990.
All right.
It's okay, man. I got some years on y'all.
No, that's a good year to
Makes me
graduate.
smarter than y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know more than y'all. That's all.
I don't know, man. Jay is fairly educated, man. He's a master.
Don't get it twisted. Jay's not that. Because he went,
man.
he educated, all right?
Man, he's Skybox Jay now, man. I don't know.
Yeah, he came up.
I'm scared to talk crazy about Master Jay.
It's internet connection, right, man.
Master J.
All right. So, Jesse,
Y'all better
what,
leave me alone.
all All right, so we're going to switch up to, that's a cold top 5. Let me say that first. That's a cold top 5, and so make sure you challenge us. And honestly, I would like to know who got the best top 5. I know I come in at number 1. But outside of that, I am curious.
Robin a 7-Eleven.
Because your music is music to drive by? Is that what it is?
My music, regardless if you had a Caprice or a Monte Carlo or a Cutlass, you could drive around and listen to my music and those. You notice those are the only 3 cars you could have and listen to that music.
True.
Let's go twist this brother Mickey Ficky's cap back, son.
Well, first, hey, let's say a prayer, y'all. Lord, please let us this fool do what's necessary.
I always knew I was going to be something like that. Yeah. All right. So we got this new segment we're going to do because we want to make sure we bring in people who know what they're talking about. Sometimes we talk about boxing and MMA, but you know, if it ain't Floyd Mayweather, we don't get passionate about it. Because Floyd,
here we go.
Because Floyd's the greatest fighter ever. How you feel about that? See, this
15-0, baby.
That's the extent of that's how far we can go. That's why we brought in Jesse, so we can take it past Floyd Mayweather. Now that Floyd's retired, we need Jesse. So
is that the name of the segment? We need Jesse.
Yeah, that's it. Anytime boxing come up, we need Jesse, and then boom, he pop up like a little magical genie with a beard, like the Dr. Pepper, Pepper dude. Yeah.
Yeah. You know they glitter in beards now. Did y'all see that on Facebook?
It's the sweet one.
Exactly. Oh man!
All right, so let us know what's going on in the world of. Let's start with the world of MMA, man. What's going on with that?
All right, as far as UFC events this weekend or MMA events this weekend, it's not really a whole lot mainstream wise that'll be going on. UFC does have one coming up on FS1, so UFC Fight Night. The main event on that one is Jeremy Stevens versus. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Do-Ho Choi is the guy's name.
Well, does he?
Do-Ho Choi.
That's what he does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is he kin to the kicker Young Cole that got cut from the Chargers? See, this is blatant racism, and I'm wrong for that. Let me put that out there, because
see that's what happens when you start talking about that rap music.
Yeah, y'all brought me back to that devil music, and
but the big fight that I would say you guys should watch if you're interested as an average MMA fan would be Vitor Belfort versus Uriah Hall. That's that's right before the main event. Vitor Belfort, he's old, he's kind of long in the tooth, but he's still one of those guys that, he can still, throw the hands with the best of them. Uriah Hall, if you've never seen him fight, he's probably one of the best strikers in the UFC. He's a brother, you're holding it down. And so I would say if you're going to watch that on Sunday, that would be the fight to look for and everything like that. So that's the only thing that's happening in MMA.
So before we move on past MMA, let me ask you a question just to get some of the terminology down. What's the difference between a striker and, let's say, what are a couple of the other terms that we would need to know?
You got striker, you got grappler. Usually those are the 2 main terms, and you got wrestler.
Okay.
I know people will say, what's the difference between wrestling and grappling? Well, wrestling, that's just straight up, your old school Greco-Roman style type wrestling that you see in the Olympics. And then you have grappling, which more involves jiu-jitsu, judo, and things like that.
I thought grappling is what, like, Trump does when he sees a pretty woman. Okay. All right. That was my assumption.
Okay. That is a new style of move there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible. But yeah. And then, striker is just a different, he could be boxing background, kickboxing, karate, or whatever, Muay Thai. So just a stand-up fighter and a ground fighter, those are just the big differences that you would want to look for. So that's the only big news coming out of MMA right now as far as fighting events. And one more person fighting on that card is Paige Van Zandt. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
Yeah.
She was on Dancing with the Stars and everything like that. But yeah, she'll be fighting on this card. The last time she fought, she lost by rear naked choke to Michelle, the karate hottie, Watterson. Yep, that's
I remember that fight.
Karate hottie, huh?
The karate hottie, indeed. So yeah. So
one of them karate hotties.
Remember High Karate, the clone? No. Okay. Anyway, so
he wearing it now.
Cyborg had a fight recently. Did she win or did she lose?
Yes, actually, good. Thank you. Yeah, Cyborg did fight this weekend. This past, I think, weekend or a couple weekends ago. Can't honestly remember, but she fought. She actually won by unanimous decision. She beat Holly Holm for the 145 title. Yeah, Holly Holm. Actually, remember she was the first one that put Ronda Rousey to sleep.
Right.
That made me so happy.
Go night, Ronda.
Ronda ain't been right since then, man.
Yeah, she really hasn't. But yeah, that's the, like I said, that's the big news coming out of the MMA world coming out right now. No Conor McGregor, nothing going on with that. I know y'all probably heard about Floyd Mayweather specifically trying to get into MMA.
Yes, I heard that. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I hope he does.
I don't know if that's really gonna happen. I don't know why he would do it, but
somebody straight grapple him. Just straight grapple him.
But it's like every single MMA fighter, as of right now, is calling him out because they're hearing his name in the water. So we'll see what happens with that.
Floyd don't want he don't want none of that, man.
Yeah. Outside of MMA news, with boxing news, there's not a whole lot going on right now with that. No huge fights, but it is a big fight coming up for ladies boxing, women's boxing. Clarissa Shields, I don't know if you ever seen her Netflix documentary called T-Rex. She's one of the up-and-comers. She's really good. She's really talented, coming out of Detroit, Michigan.
Flint.
Flint. Sorry, there you go. Flint, Michigan. She's really good. Right now she's 4-0. She just started her career. She'll be taking on Tori Nelson to defend her WBC and IBF titles. That'll be Friday, January 12th on Showtime.
Yeah, that's definitely worth seeing because I believe she's going to be the next big star, like for boxing. Yeah. Like I think she's going to transcend it ain't going to be just women's boxing. She might be a next big star for boxing in general because if you've seen the documentary, you root for her, especially when she came back from the Olympics, still broke, still not really having, anything to do.
Yeah.
And so you get invested into, her trainer, everybody, you want them to win. And then Flint still has nasty water right now. Like, so you want someone from Flint to win. Like it's just time, it's time for Flint to get a victory. So.
Right. Indeed.
That's good.
Yeah, man, that's it. That's it for the boxing and MMA news. And there you go.
All right. Well, that was
Jesse.
We named it right there on the fly. So whenever we need Jesse, he'll pop up. We'll come up with a theme song. We're musical people, so we typically do come up with theme songs. And see, Jay got one going right now.
That's one of the true stereotypes that we're very musical.
Yeah.
That's
we like chicken.
Jesse, everybody,
Indeed.
come on. Jesse.
No.
A little louder.
No, don't do that, man. Don't do that to me.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, we about to go ahead and move on to our next segment. And thank you, Jesse.
No problem. Appreciate it, fellas. See y'all next time.
All right.
And so it's time for us to talk about the NBA, and we like to call this segment Thunda Talk.
Thunda, baby.
With the name.
Thunda.
By the way, they lost again.
That's two. Yeah, that's 2 in a row.
Look, when is somebody in that locker room gonna say, "Look, fellas, what is going on, man? What are we gonna do?"
You know what's going on? Pete the Puma is hurt right now.
That is so crazy, and I love that Terrence Ferguson got has been getting some time, and versus LA and the other LA, like versus the Clippers and the Lakers. I was like, all right, Terrence Ferguson stepping up, T-Town, all right, I'm excited, but last night,
woo, it was ugly. It was ugly.
So at some point, I want him to there's a lot of things that need to happen. Him and Abrinas need to just drink protein shakes all day long and weight gainer because it's so much that I see that I never thought that I would say we really need Pete the Puma. Like, we need his defense. We need him.
I mean, we can't win if Russell's shooting 49%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't win when your star is shooting 49.5%, bro. And he's throwing up 30 shots.
And I think the bigger problem that I see with the team that I don't like is the maturity level. Like, they get distracted by what the refs are doing, and they let the refs take them out of the game way too often. And here's the thing, whether it's the NFL or the NBA, we know officiating sucks right now. And so we can't solve it. We're not going to solve it in the middle of the season. Officiating sucks. You complaining to them about a missed call. I think, to be honest with you, I feel like NBA players need to, especially the Thunder, they need to adjust their game to knowing they're not going to get the call. Russ, learn how to finish a layup while someone's grabbing you, like grabbing your leg or something, because that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the last 2 years, you've been coming in and you're not going to get the call, man, because the way you play, the refs are not going to call it. Make an adjustment. And I see Paul George getting caught up in that complaining thing where, it was a couple and there were notable fouls that they missed, but it took him out of this game.
Well.
Yeah. So that's my big beef with the way they're playing. But other than that, honestly, the second unit has really decreased their offensive. And this is Pete DePuma being missing, because that's an extra, that's one missing part of that unit. And it's not flowing as cohesive as it normally does. But the second unit isn't producing offensively the way that they normally do. And that's also been kind of disappointing, too, to see. They've been playing all right, but they were proficient. Like, they were the best unit at one point on the team. And now they're not pulling there at the same weight.
I can't deal with the inconsistency, man.
Yeah.
I can't deal with not knowing which Thunder's going to be playing tonight. That bothers me, man. That just bothers me. When I turn on the TV to watch a game, I'm like, okay, which team is playing? Is the one who gets very lackadaisical by the time the third quarter comes around, or is it going to be the one that they just firing on all cylinders? You just don't know. There's no consistency, and this goes back to the coach. What is Billy doing, man? Is he scared to coach this team? Is that what it is?
Like, you said it best a few weeks ago when you was like, he just got really good seats. That's Billy. He just got
paid millions of dollars to sit there and watch a game.
Yeah.
And be like, time out. All right, y'all. So we need to make more points than they do. All right, go on back in there.
They just gotta. I mean, that loss to Phoenix on Sunday night, that really hurt, because
man,
I thought they started to get their groove with beating the Lakers and the Clippers, and I was like, okay, Terrence Ferguson, they really got something here, but then they didn't take Phoenix serious, and that's the thing about Phoenix has beat them 3 straight games.
That's
dating back to last year, and Phoenix is like at the bottom of the cellar. They lottery picks every year, and they keep beating Oklahoma City.
It's we play to the talent of the team, and I think that's the problem. We have somewhat of and this is from a fan perspective. I don't know enough about basketball to back up my statement, but from a fan's perspective, it seems like we react to, like, we play to the talent of who we're playing. Like, we don't prep for bench players. It seems like we get surprised when someone comes off the bench. Like yesterday against Portland, Damian Lillard wasn't there, and it was as though they had nothing on who was going to be in the game. Like, I believe we would have beat them if Damian Lillard was playing. I think they would have stepped up to the challenge, and we could have potentially got a victory. But it seems like we get caught off guard with the people that they maybe don't have a lot of footage on, or they're just not studying the right way. Now, I'm just a fan, but that's what it looks like to me as a fan.
That's a coach's fault, though.
Yeah, that's a coaching staff issue. Yeah, it's like, I got these superstars. Do I really need to press them and make them do more? That's what it feels like.
Like, as my boy Steve always said, he said the Thunder are good for making your 7th string person into an all-star for one night. We seen that with Phoenix with Bender the other night. He just kept hitting 3-pointers, and then Shabazz Napier. He hadn't had, and I'm a UConn fan. I haven't seen a Shabazz Napier game like that since his last game with UConn in 2014.
That game was so good. LeBron was like, "Hey, I want him here in Miami," and then they drafted him. He left. Man,
they traded him.
But I think that wraps it up right there, man. Like, that's who we are. I mean, we can go back to the Kevin Durant days. We've always let people off the bench just take advantage of us and light us up, man. And you never hear from them again.
We need to start clotheslining people like Isaiah Thomas.
How do you what?
Oh wait, since we talking about fight, did you see Surge yesterday against what's my guy's name? Johnson from
Amir Johnson?
Johnson from Miami. Can't think of his first name, but it's James Johnson. He's the guy with this third degree black belt. Him and Surge got into a fight, and he hit Surge, and then Surge kind of like slapped him, but then he backed up. He like, man, he made Ralph Macchio me or something.
For real?
They both got suspended for a game after for what they happened yesterday.
Surge stay getting into it with people, but can't win a fight.
No,
like he has a history.
He's starting fights. He's just not good at finishing.
The Matt Barnes.
Yeah.
Matt Barnes like, come on, you're not gonna hit me.
Yeah,
you're not gonna hit me. I'm the ghetto El DeBarge. Come on.
I did see the clothesline that Isaiah did to Andrew Wiggins, all right?
Oh yeah.
You gotta see the clothesline?
I seen it.
He literally almost took his head off and did it on purpose. He going up for a layup, and Isaiah said, "Ha!" right into Andrew Wiggins' throat.
He was really aiming for the ball, but he can't reach. He can't get up there. That's what that was.
Short, man. Neck ball, you know.
Same thing.
Shout out to Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, I hope he has a good
move.
All right, so with the I was looking at the All-Star deal. Do you think there's a chance that Kevin Durant is going to end up in a position where he's picking, because that's the way it's going to go, right, Jay? Do you think he's going to pick Russ?
He's too
I think if he gets the first pick, because I think if you have the most votes, you get the first pick. I think he'll pick one of his teammates.
Yo, he's going to pick Steph. I'm not going. I mean, he has to pick Steph. He has to.
He ain't picking Russ. He's not picking Russ.
I'd rather them play against each other in a game like this than them be on the same team and it be awkward like it was last year.
They're not.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to see them. I don't want to see Russ throwing lobs to him. I want to see them again. I want to see that whole forehead action again, like in the All-Star game. Yeah, I want to see that. Like something that makes it worthwhile.
Nobody fights in the All-Star game, but we may see it for the first time this year.
This made that when they went head to head and they did the forehead thing, that made my year. I'm like, that's what I'm looking for.
I want them to do that, and then I want them to have like guests, like celebrity coaches or guest coaches, like so they can have the Matt Barnes team and the Uncle Derek team, and there you go. Put Russ on the Matt Barnes team. You got yourself a fight. All right,
that's a gang fight right there, sir.
It is.
That's Crips and Bloods.
All right, so that's our NBA talk. It's time for us to get into the final cut. The final cut is when we give you what's real and sincere from our heart. It's also how we end the show. So, J-Rock, go ahead. Let them know.
We watched the college football playoffs on Saturday, we watched the college football playoff on Monday, the national championship game. This is the 4th edition of it. Nick Saban and his Alabama Crimson Tide have been a part of this for all 4 years, in the championship game for the last 3 years. We witnessed something magical on Monday. We witnessed them come back from down at halftime. He put in a freshman quarterback to take over for his starting quarterback that helped him lead his team to winning his 6th national championship. He's now tied with Bear Bryant for the most national championships in the modern day era. Now, most people, they don't like Nick Saban because he gets the best of the best. But the thing is, when you in most situations, when you get the best of the best, you got to work with that and make it work. You know, he has 35 running backs on the roster. And, for them to all pretty much coincide with each other, understand they only may get 8 carries a game, but they play to their part. And the reason why I say Nick Saban is the greatest coach of all time is since he started recruiting at LSU back in 1999, every player that has been a part of his roster from 1999 to 2017 has won a national championship. That right there is a remarkable mark right there, and he is the greatest. He's the greatest college football coach that I've seen in my lifetime. And I look for him to continue to fight. You know, I don't see him going back to the NFL, and I see him staying in college forever. He already has a statue in Alabama. And I end the show like I always do. Winners win and losers lose, and they all find a way to do what they do. I'm out of BCJ, and I'm out.
Hey, I'm a comedian, meaning that people pay me to make them laugh from time to time. It's like my little side hustle. But what most folks don't know is that comedy and tragedy are distant cousins. You know, for everything that's tragic, comedians have a way of finding something funny within the tragedy. Now, I say all that to say is that sometimes I think we all take ourselves a little too seriously sometimes. And sometimes you just gotta laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? Something about laughter that lets off certain toxins that just makes you feel good about a situation, man. Sometimes it gives you perspective. Sometimes it gives you the perspective of the glass half full as opposed to glass half empty. So that's what I deal in. I deal in laughter. That's what we all deal in every time we get together every week. We do our best to make each other laugh because there's something about comedy, there's something about laughter that gets us closer to being human. You know what I mean? With that being said, don't tell God about your big problems. Tell your problems you got a big God, and I'm out.
All right, so I just want to continue along with the conversation I typically bring up to encourage everyone to pursue your dreams. Go out and do the best that you can do when it comes to living out that dream. Don't go another year, another month, and just keep your dream on the shelf. Every little bit that you can do, it counts. It counts toward you getting free from that, from that prison, because having a job isn't a prison, but knowing that you could be doing more, you could be doing something better, and you could be pursuing this dream, that's freedom. When you're out there living the dream and doing what you want to do, it's nothing greater than that. So I would just encourage everyone to just go beyond the fear, get out there, do your thing, and live this dream, and just be free, and and just let the world share your gifts with the world, share who you are and all that you have to offer with the world. All right. Remember, hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. We thank you guys for listening to the Barbershop 918, and make sure you check us out at
thebarbershop918.com. Check us out on iTunes, Buzzsprout, Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter.
Hey man, if you can't find us and you ain't looking for us, and you probably should be looking for us because we're a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, we are. I honestly think we're the best one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and shout out to the guests that we had on the show today.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out to Jesse and Chef Charone for coming through. Look forward to seeing them again next time there's a big fight. We're going to ask for Jesse. We're going to call on Jesse. I already forgot what we said we was going to call.
We need Jesse.
We need Jesse. There we go. That was Jesse Jackson's slogan when he ran, wasn't it?
It was. It didn't help him out one bit. You know why Jesse lost? Because he had a mustache. There's never been a president with a mustache.
Oh, wow.
Even Barack didn't have a mustache.
He didn't. He said he woke up. Yeah, I was watching that interview where he said he wakes up every day and shaves first. Like he shaves before he goes and works out, which is weird.
Hey, man, you cannot have a mustache and be president. It's just impossible. You just can't have facial hair and be president.
People don't trust the mustache, I guess.
Our brother named Chip.
The mustache alone makes it look like you work in adult films.
Yeah. You into whispers.
Hey, Scotty.
I'm sorry. Scotty.
I'm in a Whispers cover band. That's all that is.
Hey, rock. What's that mean?
Steady rocking.
Yeah, Scotty. What does that mean? Them big old mustaches, man.
Hey, Raw Dawg. My talent on the weekends is I'm in a Whisper cover band, and I go around Oklahoma singing the Whisper's greatest hits. I put a mustache.
It's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing. And you gotta have a little mini afro that comes out to the sides like this. You know what I mean?
I got the Uncle Phil look. You know, whenever I do that, man.
And see, they was in the music game back when people was, out there doing their thing. When they got a little money, they was on the sugar booger, the booger sugar, candy. And you could imagine with a mustache that thick, you get a little surprise. You sitting there in church on Sunday, take a deep breath, and all of a sudden, everything's dandy.
You got some white girl on your mustache.
Don't mind if I do.
Alexander O'Neal over there like, I see something.
What's that on your stash, bro?
Hey, shout out to Alexander O'Neal, who's getting love on ESPN, man. They playing Saturday Night Love to promote ESPN Prime, ABC NBA Prime Time.
He gonna get his teeth done.
Yeah.
You know he gonna go buy a rock.
Oh, that's. I gotta end the show now.
Get his teeth first, man.
I said he want to go rock steady with the whispers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
All right, we out.
We out. Deal, baby.